Welcome to the Planet Paintball Podcast, the ultimate podcast for paintball enthusiasts. Each week, we dive into the world of paintball, bringing you stories, insights, and tips from players, coaches, and industry insiders. Sponsored by 1023 Sportswear. Looking for high-quality gear that performs as hard as you do? Check out 1023 Sportswear. And as a listener of the Planet Paintball Podcast, you can get 20% off your order with the code PLANETPaintball. Suit up, save big, and play your best.
All right, welcome back to the Planet Paintball Podcast. We'd like to thank our sponsors, 1023 Sportswear, your Southeast Custom Apparel, and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. And we're going to shout out the Matrix Restoration guys. Find them on Instagram. You got something old and cool, they'll get it up and running for you. Today, I got Josh Connelly with me. We're going to kind of do a little state of paintball. It's been a while since you've been back on. A lot of changes, a lot of moving, especially this week.
Yeah,
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I went and played the retro event with you guys. That was a blast. First time I picked up a gun since last December, so yeah. Went about as well as you expected it to go.
Well, yeah, there were a bunch of guys that had not played in a while on that squad.
Yeah, but it was a blast. Like it was fun, and that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and that's what the CFOA retros are all about for us. It's definitely getting out there with the boys and having a good time.
Well, we can start there since we're going on the retro. We can go ahead and hit
Might
it.
as well. Let's.
So awesome event. It was fun as always. Andrew Gibson, huge shout out for the elbow pads and knee pads that you let me borrow for the day, because otherwise I would have been screwed after the kitty litter games. We only got 5 prelims.
Yeah.
I was done and on my way home by noon. I
Yeah.
thought it was a missed opportunity by the staff to give us more paintball since it was only 6 teams that showed up. Why not make it, something dope for those extra 6 teams? We could have played 5. We could have played everybody on the airball field and then everybody on the hyperball field, and then they could have taken the top 4 teams. I don't know. I'm not sure if that was a staff decision. I did hear somebody say that there's a possibility that PB Leagues was to blame, and if that's the case, fuck you, Chris Rail.
I also heard the PB Leagues thing, so yeah, if that's the case, fuck you, Chris.
Yeah, that's another reason for smaller regional events to get the hell away from him. If you're doing an open event, you don't need PB League.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
You can go to something else or go old school.
Right, just cut him out of it, and then there's not a thing. Well, he couldn't get the schedules made up in time. There's 6 teams. If you can count to 5 twice, you can count how many games each team gets. It's not those refs were smart. The refs were on it all day, so I definitely want to give them a huge shout out, because I saw, the usual retro fuckery. You get a bunch of old dudes out there, which we try to cheat.
Yeah, look, the bad needs an extra life.
Right, man.
Sometimes.
Like, we should get at least 1 medic on every team that has more than 3 40-year-olds.
I'm all for it.
We should get a respawn, and not a tag up either. I'm not running anywhere. Like, I better be able to count to 10 and just start.
Yep. Ref, come wipe me off and let me restart.
But, other than that gripe, which, the teams that don't make it out of the prelims always bitch about how much paintball they don't get to play because they're done after their prelim games. I still stuck around and watched the finals and had an absolute blast as always. Those retro events are the best. The paint was amazing.
The paint was good.
I'm old. I hate dark shell paint. And when we opened those boxes of 5-star up and it was pink shell, I was like, oh, praise God, I can see what I'm shooting today. But dude, like that's really about it. Like, the refs were awesome. The paint was awesome. The venue was, what we've come to expect from that Greensboro field. Like, the AstroTurf field's it's got some wonky spots in it, but it still plays really, really fun. It was a blast. I do feel the finals game was a little fucked.
Okay.
I hate to take Gridlock's side at a retro event. But when a live body and an elimination is worth more than a flag pull, we need to. I feel like that's off. Like that game went to time. Gridlock had 3 alive. Above ground had 4, but Gridlock got the flag pull. I feel like that's a win for the team that pulls the flag, even though they're down a body.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
not
trying to
taking anything
remember.
away, not taking a single thing away from above ground. Those dudes were super cool all day. Like they played some good paintball. Owen Pinch, Matt, those guys were out of their minds. So I'm not
Yep.
taking anything away from them winning, but I do have some questions about the scoring system that once again PB Leagues is using
Oh,
because that's weird. I mean, I know I'm old and I've probably got a little bit of the Alzheimer's setting in, but I remember a flagpole being worth a good amount of points.
yeah. And then, oh my gosh, what's his name? I think it's Alex on above ground with the.
I can never say his last name and I don't want to butcher it, but he has the dope ass doo doo brown angel
Yep.
with IntelliFeed.
Yeah. And he had the matching Cagnoni jersey for the event.
Yes, he did.
So shout out to you, buddy.
Oh man, that's another dude. If you've got some old angels, I know that's one thing that a lot of people do not mess with. I don't know if I'm guessing that the Matrix Restoration is G-Way and those guys.
It is.
Ah, boom. So yeah, I don't know if they mess with angels, but if you have questions, I know that that dude knows a lot about the old angels and can point you in the right directions of parts you need and everything else.
Well, and Bearded Works used to do them too. I don't know if he still does them.
Dude, Jake is the best. I
Jake's
was so
pretty
happy.
good.
I was so happy to see he did an episode. I had a bubble cocker that I had gotten in a tattoo trade, and Jake did his best to get this thing running, and he had it running flawlessly when he sent it back to me. And I swear, dude, I looked at it funny, and it immediately turned into a blender. TJ picked it up, it ran perfect. I gave it to TJ. I was like, "It's yours. Take it."
Cockers got their own little personalities, don't they?
The words you're looking for is gremlins.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so we hit the retro.
We hit the
Let's
retro.
let's move on to some more 5-man. We'll hit the current 5-man league, the AXL.
Okay.
I'm super excited to see a league that even though the numbers are down, they are honoring their prize pack. It's not a great business model as far as making money, but it's an awesome move to see them be like, all right, well, we're not getting the turnout we wanted, but we said this was going to be the prize. We're just going to,
I didn't know they were doing that. That's pretty stand up of them.
I'm
I'll give
like,
them that.
like 99% sure I saw somewhere post where somebody said they still paid out the prizes at the last event as well. So,
Okay.
I mean, they're doing as much as they can the right way. I think everybody does have to give them a tiny bit of grace because this is their first season. There's going to be growing pains from a player standpoint. We have to be understanding, but I feel like they've really got to take advantage of all these people that are reaching out to them on their posts and giving criticisms.
Yeah.
They've got to take the fact that they've got their client or their customer base like in a direct interaction through social media. They've got to take what they're saying and make changes to kind of start because it's a consistent complaint. So it's a thing that they're gonna have to start making steps, visible steps that they can communicate to those players or like have one-on-one interactions with them. I think like a forum at the end of the season with the team captains and the league reps would be a great idea for them. And this is just me throwing ideas out. Anybody involved can feel free to tell me to fuck off. But from the outside looking in and not as a player and not as a field owner or anything else, and just looking at it from a piece of business advice, I would have like a forum at the end of the season and take everybody like put it to a vote. If these are the guys that are paying entry fees to play and they want this change made, put it to a vote amongst the teams and then make that change. I heard Hinman talking about this on the play the game thing with a change they made to I think WCPPL about the number of points they raced to. It went from
Yeah.
3 to 4. It went from 3 to 4, and he put that to a vote for the league, like the participants to make a choice on. And that does two things. That makes your players feel more involved. And to be 1,000% honest, it takes away their ability to bitch. Like if you vote on this change and we make this change and the event's garbage because of that change, guess who did it? You guys.
Yeah. Well, and we saw the NGXL do that with their refs, right? They took a
Did they?
vote. Yeah, they took a vote, and the team captains wanted NXL trained refs. So they went out and they
Paid
now
for everybody
import
to
the
go get the.
referees.
Oh, they didn't
Yeah.
just have their guys go to the class.
No, a bunch of a bunch of the Bear Ridge guys were playing, or sorry, were reffing from the semi-pro team. They
Gotcha.
all went out and got teams to coach, and then they brought in refs. So,
Well, I mean, fair enough.
And
I think,
I won't
I
say
think
who, but
that's,
I could go.
and I think something that would help the AXL too is I think they should really bring back the ability for teams to referee for series points, because that also is going to eliminate a lot of your bitching. Like a lot of these younger cats that I've seen come into the game, they're really, really good paintball players, but all they do is play paintball. They've never been on the
Yeah.
other side of it. I think that teams, and not have them come in and referee their division. Like let's not get crazy before anybody starts like losing their mind and going, "Oh God," like they would sabotage us. Like, really? I mean, it's a fucking paintball tournament, guys. Like, have them ref the opposite division.
Yeah.
And if they do it for season points, or they don't want to do it for season points, do it so they can get money off of their entry fee for the next day, and start bringing in some of these players. So you're not stuck having to bring in outside referees into these tournaments. No offense to Solstice Law. Those guys are awesome. I heard they did an awesome job at the last one. There were some complaints as always, but overall the grumblings were more minimalistic after the last AXL. But
Well,
I think if you get to the point where you have some of these guys that are at our age that are willing to come out and ref because we still love the game and make a little bit of money doing something we enjoy, you get better ref quality when you have refs that play and players that ref.
well, and I know they reached out to some of the guys that ref other regional leagues to try and get them in. I don't know if those guys went or whatever,
I mean,
but I
it's
know they were
expensive.
reaching out.
It's expensive. Like, a lot of people don't realize that ref cost is a huge part of the reason you pay the money you pay at NXL events.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like, they're paying those cats. I think it's at least 150 a day.
yeah. At the NXL.
Yeah, and the head ref, I think I could ask Isaac, because I know he probably, but from a few years ago, he would know like exact numbers. But it's expensive to find people that are willing to come out there and get verbally abused and shot without the adrenaline of playing paintball.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you, if you've never refed and you take a heater to the neck, it's totally different than somebody stabbing you. It's a wake up call from hell.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
And I would say if you're a D4 player, you need to go and ref. Like, you need to go get that experience, know
Go
how
reach
hard it
out
is.
to Andrew Gibson or Tyler Benfield at Palmetto and ref one of the big games. Like, if you don't have any ref experience, don't go ref a tournament. Don't be that dude, because you're that dude that's going to be the reason some team goes home and jumps on social media, and complains they didn't move on. Go ref a
Yeah.
big game. You're guaranteed to get shot, and you'll find out exactly why it sucks getting shot while you're at.
Yep. Well, and if you're running an open event and you need a schedule made, hit me up. Relapse ran a couple open events and we made
They
our own
did.
schedule. So,
Those
yeah,
schedules
it's
were
not that hard.
so well put together and ignored so thoroughly by Andy.
Well,
Like, between the tacos and the beers, the schedule, at a certain point, the schedule was just whoever Andy wanted to watch play.
yeah. Well, especially during the holiday one, the Toys for Tots.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of those events, a cat that came out and ran an event at Greenville. Do you remember the event that they put on for Chris's tank chair?
Yeah.
So Zach Boya, I know I screwed his last name up. I always do, but That dude, if you get to run into him in an event, he's one of the good ones too. But that's somebody we need to use this episode to peer pressure into hosting another event because they're always a blast, man.
Yeah, he did a really good job of that one. I played it and I was super happy with it. It was
Man,
the backyard, you know.
and it was
B, it was for a
raining.
good cause.
It was raining. It was cold. The paint shot great, which was unrealistic to have hoped for, but the paint shot great. I mean, it was just a fun day. Zach puts on a good show, man.
Yeah,
This is me
Zach,
calling
hit
you
me up.
out. Host another event. He needs to do an episode too. He's got some good ICPL stuff. Like he plays a lot of classic.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta. He is on the list actually.
Maybe he'll explain how to pronounce his last name so I don't feel like such an ass.
Oh,
So we hit the
yeah.
AXL. I'll leave them alone now because I love those guys and I don't want to get any angry messages. So we'll hit the C3XL. Tyler and Palmetto are out at Palmetto's Brainchild.
Yeah.
That series is running phenomenally well into this season. Like I just checked the team counts on the way to my house and I think they're sitting at like 11 D4 and 15 or 16 in the other. I think they might have
Yeah,
hit their captain D4 actually.
they're doing pretty well, and I'm a big fan. Have had Tyler on, and I played the fucking league, but a little dip when they went to Seneca, right, out to 6 Mile.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a haul for the guys from Rock Hill. Dude, shout out to Tyler though for being willing to host his brainchild series at another field to
Yeah.
allow them. Like I know Adam and those guys are looking to sponsor teams now. So if you're in that area just across the Georgia line and it's actually closer for you to come that way, hit those dudes up. They've got a pretty nice little facility going. I know he got that compressor set up, so they've got good air going.
They got good air,
I know him and Ernie have
leveled
been
field.
working on the woods ball course a little bit too. They've got a decent little pro shop now too. So definitely go show some support. If you're thinking about buying some gear and you live out that way, don't order it from ANS. Like go to a store and buy it. Like it's going to be the same price. It's
Yeah.
literally going to be no markup. They have to sell it at MAP, but the field makes the little bit of profit there is on those masks when they get them instead of putting it into you know whose pocket.
The big boys.
Bro, I'm about to block his TikTok. I'm about to block ANS gear on TikTok. If I see what, they're so bad. And I'm like, you know how many people just buy guns from them because of those TikToks? Like, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll buy, just click on this. And so
Yep.
let's see, we hit that. There's really nothing to complain about with
Before we
Tyler from
move
what I've heard.
away from Extreme,
We got
Lil
high tech.
Birdie told me they're getting turf. Don't know
I
when,
mean,
but supposedly it's happening.
they have room for a second field, don't they? Because Adam's got the grass pretty decent on the one they've got, right? I haven't been out
Yeah,
there, unfortunately, but
the grass is pretty good on the one they got, and they definitely have room. So it's on a hill, but it steps down, and they have room if they wanted to do a other speedball field. I don't know if that makes sense for them, like just from a business standpoint, but they could definitely like build something cool on what is now the airball field with the nice grass, and then move the airball field onto. Probably need to do a check in with Adam and kind of get a state of the union from him.
yeah, I know I see his post and I saw where they were looking to sponsor teams, which is awesome because if it's done right, it really fosters a symbiotic deal between the teams and the field because they don't make money off of tournament players. We're showing up and buying paint 2 weekends a month. They're making money off those 30 and 40 person birthday parties.
Yeah. So if you're in the Lake/Clemson area, very North Georgia area, Hartwell, like go out and support that dude for sure.
He's a good dude and he's been in the game for a fairly long time too. You can
Yeah.
forgive his you have to forgive his mustache, but other than that, Adam's a good guy. He's
We
gonna
can't
see
all
this
have
late.
solid beards like you.
This isn't solid. Look, I was talking about this with Kevin at the retro. I can show you a picture of me with my youngest daughter from like 7 years ago. This was solid black. Like you now, just all the seasoning in it, every bit of it.
Look at it. It's those 3 girls you live with, man. Those daughters put it on you.
Bro, they're at a point. They're at a point where I'm having to stop. Like I'm having to learn. I'm gonna have to stop calling them my little girls and start understanding the fact that they're women. I mean, I got an 18-year-old now. Like
Uh-huh.
we're in a whole new realm of things. So that'd be awesome if they get that turf upgrade. That's definitely a selling point. It's easier to maintain if you're willing to do the work than the grass is, especially out there
Yeah.
where they're at. Because I know they've got deer as a major problem, just like Palmetto does. Which, dude, shout out to Pete for that grass y'all get to play on this
Oh
weekend.
my gosh, yeah.
My, like, I want to nap. I just want to lay down on it and take a nap, which is impressive because that place is eat up with deer.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll put a herd on the field quick. For sure.
Especially as much as Pete puts seed and stuff. Like, I'm sure Otis and the dogs are just running nuts with
Oh,
all of
yeah.
them out there.
Yeah, the dogs are the only reason they even somewhat stay away.
I think I think Tyler might do a decent amount to thin the deer herd out there as well.
Oh,
I'm pretty
yeah?
sure he's yeah, we had a few conversations about hunting last year when I was up there, and I think he goes pretty regularly once season hits.
Well, it's good to be able to step out your back door there and
Well, I mean, to
have some time.
have that view in general. I mean, that hill behind Pete's house is just like and the sun hits it perfect. I mean, it was a golf course, so
Yeah.
it's set up pretty nice. So we got off the C3XL. They didn't really have any drops. We can hit to the all the drama and nonsense going on in the NXL right now.
Yeah, let's hit it. Pro scene's had a pretty big shakeups, and especially since last time me and you talked.
Man, you got Impact had bought everybody and then cut Marcelo because he was associated with a dude with a Nazi gun,
Mhm.
which fuck that guy. Like I don't care. Like I understand Marcelo's viewpoint about you don't stop being friends because they have fucked up views because that's how they just keep
Yeah.
having fucked up views. If you let people paint themselves into a box, they never learn to grow. So, shout out to him if that's the reason he did it. If he did it for the paycheck, can't really blame him on that either.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think he handled it well.
I mean, he did and he didn't. I think the silence, like I'm going through like everybody kind of goes through that situation. And at a certain point, you learn that even if you bark back and my dad always had a saying, the hurt dog hollers loudest. So if everybody's sitting there screaming that you're in the wrong for doing this and you start yelling that you're not wrong and defending yourself when you haven't done anything wrong, like I get both sides of it. He might have handled it wrong, but I can't put any ill will on the man for the way he handled it because he did what he thought was best. And, you know, maybe he's
Yeah.
over there trying to tell Dan, like, hey, dude, this is kind of a bad viewpoint. Nazism is a bad thing.
Maybe.
So he left. Since then, what Spica left slash got cut or whatever from Diesel. Not
Yep.
really sure what that situation is. We had the spitting incident preceded that. So let's go there first.
Yeah, let's talk about some players on Diesel spit on a Aftershock player
Yes.
during the handshake.
Yeah, after a heated game. I don't know if you caught that one on whatever it's Major League Paintball Plus now, whatever they're calling it. I don't want to because I know it's not Go Sports, but I'm not sure what it. I think it's Major League Paintball Plus. If you watch the game, there was a good bit of overshooting. Trent Nita got like they destroyed his hopper at the end of the game, and that's apparently what like sparked it. He was the player that got spit on. First off, man, he's got a reputation for like throwing extra on everybody. Like he just has that chip on his shoulder and he always puts it on people. So for him to be there and get spit on, that dude either he had no idea he got spit on until it was too late to do anything, or he just has more restraint than I have because I would have gone to jail. Like I would have gotten to see the inside of a Cincinnati like lockup that day. That's just
Yeah.
something you don't do, man. I don't care how
Yeah.
mad you are. And maybe it's a Southern thing, but if you spit on me, short of being Jesus, we're gonna throw hands.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't tolerate that if someone decided to spit on me.
And also,
We got to scrap at that point.
yeah,
There's not really an option.
And apparently there was the coach put his hands on somebody, so he received a suspension for 2 games. And I think I don't want to say who it was because I don't think that the NXL is like broadcasting who did the spitting. But the player who spit on the guy got a 3-game suspension.
Yeah. Which a little light.
I feel like that's a little light. I feel like if you can catch if you can catch 2 matches for like overshooting, which is frowned upon, not even illegal, it's frowned upon. I feel like that's a light suspension for spitting on somebody. I'm a tattooer. That's disgusting on several different levels. And just disrespectful, man. Like if it was like everybody wants to holler, we need to be like right now. Everybody's bitching about Mouse making the jump to Tampa Bay Damage. Oh, the NXL doesn't hold these contracts up. The contracts are a joke. Well, obviously we don't hold anything up and take it seriously because if it was the NFL and that player spit on another player, he's probably suspended for a couple games and he's getting a massive fine. Well, we don't have massive fines and we only have 4 matches per event. So I feel like through the end of this, like if you got into a fist fight, they'd suspend you through the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like I have friends that were told not to come back to series events for a year for getting into fights. But the NXL is going to let people get spit on and going to let people spit on people. And it's 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
And I can't remember what it was, but someone got a way harsher suspension for something way less. I know Scotty had it up on his thing, but I can't remember what it was.
But dude, much love to that guy for coming on to the podcast too.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Scotty.
That dude is just a breath of fresh air. Like when he got on the point and he was like, if anybody's got that big of a problem with me, sign the fucking waiver and let's go. I'm here for it, sir. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he makes you put up or shut up, right? Like,
and good for him, man. I think that's a problem in our sport is that so many people are comfortable saying whatever they want to say behind the keyboard that they don't realize there are real life consequences to those mouths running. Like it's not always free.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a society thing right now, right? Because like
true. But if we start digging down that hole, dude, I'm gonna have to get the tinfoil hat out.
I know.
We're not.
I'm just saying, back when you and I started playing, if we ran our mouths, there were consequences, and now there's not so much.
Those old dudes did not care that we were underage.
No. If you stepped out of line, you got corrected quick.
Yes, sir. You paid the price, and those dudes didn't do it. I don't think, and I got put down by Ken a few times, and not for doing anything wrong. I was just in a game situation, and Ken didn't play. But never once was it like a hateful thing at the end of it. It was like after it was over with, and once I had quit, sniveling and sitting over in my pit complaining, they would come over and usually explain to me why I got the corrective action.
Yeah,
man. I think that the game has gotten softer. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there aren't those corrective actions taken anymore because people don't want that. They want to be able to go to a field and do what they want to do, and damn the consequences. I'm gonna do what I want to do. We grew up in a time where there were guys that would remind you real quick who helped build the field and who blew it up every morning and who the real talent at the field was. But now people hit that try hard mode, and it gets a little extra. But I think it's something that's gotta happen. Like the respect's gotta come back to it. Letting the guy get spit on, it was aftershock. And let's talk about that for a quick second, because when we came in, if you had started to get your mouth wet to spit on one of those OG aftershock dudes, Mike Bruno would have choke slammed you into the next year. Like those dudes didn't take it. And to hear Aftershock, like his teammates let it happen, that's also a little dicey to me because, like I said, that's a super disrespect. And maybe it's my age. These guys are like, 15 years younger than us. So maybe it's the age, but if I saw somebody spit on one of y'all at an event during a handshake, like 40 years old, be damned. We're going to see if these knees can hold up for one more go.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's definitely wouldn't be something you would want to do to a Aftershock guy of old by any means. They're all newer players though. Like I think they're trying to act like Aftershock on the field. I don't think they got it in them off the field.
Well, and that's the crazy thing, and I hope that's not the case because Todd Adamson was part of that OG Shock crew, and you know he. I'm assuming they're still tied to Rennick and Badlands and like the old school ties that they had even when they made their last run in like 2013, 2014. I mean, I hope those guys would kind of reel that shit in. Now, if you've just got a reputation for overshooting, I mean, it is what it is. I think it was on Spick and Span. They were talking about it, and Greenspan brought up the point that A-Rod pumps people up. But then when you turn around the next point and smack A-Rod across the ribs, he's not making a fuss about it. He just walks off and he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to dish it out, you better be able to take it. If you can't handle 3 extra when you get shot out of your bunker, don't put 13, 14 on people when you bunker them. That's a bad idea. That's not a good look.
Yeah. And I think A-Rod and Greenspan went at it at
the 15 BPS deal.
The 15-3. Yeah. Weren't those the two that went at it?
There were a couple instances I heard of where it got a little spicy. I'm waiting on Trauma Head to drop the rest of their content on it because that's who got the rights to produce the after. So I'm kind of excited about that because I grew up on Trauma Head. I love the announcer. Like, dude just sounds stoned the whole time. But I think he's doing the commentary still. So I've seen the snippets they released of like points here and there. And there was definitely some dudes you could tell who hadn't necessarily played at 15 before. Like they were standing up out of bunkers into lanes. And I mean just getting smacked. Like I think LJ came off and his whole right side with like his whole right shoulder, you couldn't even read the numbers anymore. And it wasn't that he like ran down, it's just he stood up at the wrong moment and it just all catches you at 15, you're gonna get shot more.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun.
I mean, since we're on it, do you think that's the direction the league should go?
No. Honestly, man, it depends on what you want. If you want to see paintball on TV, 3 versus 3 is the way to go. The ESPN deal that's coming up on August 1st, to somebody who doesn't know shit about paintball, a limited paint format 3v3 on a slightly smaller field is the way to go. Because then if it's a 5-on-4, that game can still go to time. I mean, Jesus, they had a game between Impact and Energy Elite that had like a 16-minute point.
Yeah.
I had time to make a sandwich and go outside and weed eat for like 10 minutes and came back in and it was still, I was
Still
like, oh
going.
God, I thought like, oh, it must have been a no point. There's no way this is the same point. And then the commentators, they're like, yeah. Speaking of the commentators, can we please get somebody in there besides Mike? Like he's that or just have him walk away during the Arsenal game. Like I get it. Those are your boys. You coached them when they were Revo. But my God, I can barely understand what you're saying because you're just on the whole time. Stop it. Stop it. You're supposed to be impartial as a commentator.
This is where we start the petition. Go and comment Connelly on all the NXL posts.
Message Tom Cole. You tell Tom Cole that you want me doing commentary with Matty Marshall. We're going to have to put some more paywall restrictions, but it could be fun. But at least then you won't have to hear how amazing Arsenal is. And I mean, those guys are great players, but dear sweet, look, we know that they're in the pro league.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear the commentary talking about how amazing they are the whole time too. Like Matty's just sitting there like trying to talk about the other team. And you can't.
Yeah, it's
I can't be the only one.
I mean, he likes his boys. I will give Arsenal
fine.
this. They get picked apart, and they always seem to be right on the cusp with whatever squad they have.
Are you trying to rationalize this dick riding? Because that's
No,
what it
I'm
is.
not. I'm just saying that Arsenal's been on the bubble, and they keep being on the bubble for whatever reason.
Nothing
right?
against Arsenal.
I know
But
it's not against Arsenal. You're tired
that
about
would
hearing
be
it all the time. I
yeah,
get that.
dude. That'd be like listening to Greenspan do commentary for Alex Frazier playing a 1-on-1. It would just be nothing but ego strokes, or he'd be talking shit the whole time. You can never tell with those two.
Well, that's true.
Shout out for did you see the Titans Law commercial that Alex did with what's the lady's name from Fit, the mom that's in the one that's in the stands screaming all the time. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that was great.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was a good one.
I was really glad to see, like, he has such a good sense of humor nowadays, and it just, like, to see that, I was just dying laughing at the shop. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then the one they did with the screen capture from a certain individual who's been talked about already, and her saying, "If I can get a rise out of him, don't you think I can get a rise out of your ex or something?" It might not have been. It was along those lines. It might not have been that exact thing, but
Oh, man.
she milked that one for sure.
Look, man, she's on it, and they're hilarious. Like, I remember the first time they made like, Maddie and them noticed them in the stands, and she had the big signs, and it was when they were semi-pro. And dude, she was bragging blast camp. Like, I watched the semi-pro finals that year, every single event, just to hear what kind of shit she was going to be yelling from the stand.
Yeah, and you could hear her through Maddie's mic. She was so
I think
loud.
she used to be a cheerleader or something, and
she had to be.
Oh man, so good. But back to the NXL, we had the spitting incident, and that has apparently caused some shockwaves. Spica quit / left or whatever happened with him. I think it was because of a stance he took, and if it was because of a stance, something he felt serious about, good on him.
Oh yeah.
You got to stand your ground on what you believe in, and regardless to what event it was about, good on him for having his idea of what was right or wrong in a situation and standing behind it. But since Spica left, quit, cut, whatever you want to call it, Mouse has now gone to Damage, and that camp is just kind of, I think that puts them at like 6 bodies, and two probably going to be gone for the event, and one that's kind of on the fence probably. And I mean, you can't blame them. Like, the guys it's a hemorrhaging thing right now.
Yeah.
So but everybody's hollering about contracts and this, that, and the other, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, it's paintball.
Show us the contract.
Well,
Doesn't exist because all the contracts that exist in paintball are like emails.
Right, but like the roster's locked going into this event. So after this event, if you leave a team, that's it. You can't go play for it. Nobody can pick you up. You're out.
Yeah, unless you're released from that team, I think is what they said, right? Like, if the team cuts you, then you can be picked up by other pro team. But
like free agency, but you can't quit. You can't just quit and go somewhere else.
No.
At a certain point. And if you're going to go that far, I feel like you've really got to lock down on it. If you're going to have contracts, make them legit contracts. If you're not, stop calling it contracts. I guarantee you, for everybody on those comments pissing and moaning about contracts, there's pros in the league right now that did not have their sponsors' ends of the contracts fulfilled at multiple times during their career.
Yeah.
The Latin Saints comes to mind off the rip as the most recent exhibition of, ooh, I got money.
Yeah, and then
will you tell Andy to shut up?
You know what? I'm gonna do it right now.
Like, good Lord.
Me and Josh are recording a podcast. Stop interrupting.
The bad thing is he's gonna do it at least one more time.
Oh yeah, there we go. Just for all the people.
Yeah,
let's see if we can
it pops
get
up on my.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's.
And now Norris jumps in because why not? You know what? Hey, shout out Black Sheep Paintball, Blackball Paintball, whatever you're calling yourselves.
Coach of the year,
Coach of the year.
getting shout outs from Maddie Marshall, and then, well, and then I mean, your messages are popping up on the screen right now, Norris. So when you watch this episode, I know you said hi.
No,
They're like toddlers sometimes.
they are, but they're our toddlers.
So the league's a little shaken up. I'm curious to see what happens before the lockdown date hits. Everybody needs to tune in for sure to the 3-man on ESPN on August 1st. It's at 10 a.m.
Yep.
on a Friday. If you're not going to be home to watch it, turn it on before you leave
Yes.
and tune it into ESPN2 and let your dogs watch it. Like it's viewership. It doesn't matter if you're physically watching it. Also, if anybody in Florida is watching this and you're off on Friday or you're an unemployed piece of shit, whatever, not judging, go to Disneyland. Go to Wide World of Sports. It's free. If you're like the first 100 people, I think I've heard they're giving away free t-shirts.
Yep. Free t-shirts.
For a lot of people, getting paintball live on ESPN has always been the dream. And this is the first time we've ever had it live. We've had it on ESPN multiple times, but it's never been live before. So that's why they're doing the 3-man, and tune in, watch it, show some support. It does the league and it does the sport good for more people to see it. There's also going to be a bunch of weird shit going on in the background, apparently, like pillow fighting and log wrestling or something like that. Like, because we're on the baseball diamond at Disney. Like they are front and center with the stands. So go, it's free, and it's a fun day. There's good food out there too.
And that's a dope setup for sure.
And hopefully we don't fuck it up and Disney lets us come back. Because when we had Cup at the Wide World of Sports complex, it felt legitimate more so than it has since. Like being able to go to Disney and telling people we were playing paintball at Disney, people didn't look at us weird back then. They were like, dude, that's awesome. Now we're like, hey, we're going to go play paintball next to this fucking Gaylord Palms Resort shit. And they're like, the what? It's like, yeah, it's like right across the road from, anybody our age goes like right to meet the Fockers or whatever. But oh man, but so that's enough with the NXL. We've got some big shuffles around South Carolina, which is very near and dear to our heart.
Hang on, before we move on, what do you think about the paint limit for it?
I think it's great.
Yay, nay. Good.
I think that the limited paint format, especially in 3-man for what they're wanting to accomplish, is going to force movement. It's also a 10-minute continuous running clock too. So the clock does not stop. The cameras don't cut for 10 minutes either. So from what I understand, it's going to be a solid shot of one entire match and then a commercial break, and then a solid shot of an entire match and then a commercial break and then the final.
Nice.
So hopefully it works really well. I mean, I'm sure they're going to sandwich it in between commercials to get the full hour live runtime. But I think the 2-pod limit is good, especially considering. So I've heard that what they did was they took the top 4 teams in the league, which even after Cincinnati, nothing changed. Dynasty and Russian Region just flip-flopped, so they still would have been playing each other. The big thing that people need to focus on is this is going to force Impact to move out of their bunkers. They're not going to be able to sit there and have a 10-minute long point.
Yeah.
Like 2 pods and a hopper, the way those got, if you're not good with paint management, that you're going to have to start moving and getting closer because you're running out of paint.
Yeah.
I think it still is a pretty much the same size field, so there's still going to be plenty of room to get speed going and make some dynamic moves. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I hope it's a good layout. Jason Trozen has been hit or miss this season on the layouts. I feel like I love that guy when he was a pro player, but as a layout designer this year, I feel like he's batting kind of a low average.
Well, and so the last event, super fucking slow for the pros. Everyone else played it fast. So I guess there's a skill difference and gap and everything, but
well, you also get the ability on those pro teams to carry 13 pods a player every single point. Divisionals, you're on a budget. Even though you budgeted for the event, you only budgeted so much. Like if it gets to a point where you're looking at like a $800 per player paint bill, Most people are going to be out on that. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Let's just run through.
Yeah. Well,
Give me a 68 and 2 pods.
yep. And let's get this done with one way or the other. But like you were saying, let's refocus back on Carolina. Pretty
So
big
we
news,
got a big
right?
shakeup coming. Outdoor Extreme purchased Paintball Charleston. And, you know, if they're having their last day with the old owners, they're going to do a cookout. I'm pretty sure I will have to double check this and I'll get with you so you can make an announcement about it on your next one, the one that comes out after me, like the day after.
Okay.
I'll get with Edward Bolton, who Jake mentioned, and get double down on the details as far as if it's bring your own paint, what the paint costs are going to be that's for sale, what the entry fee will be, and all that kind of stuff, so we can let everybody know. This is like one of the last real outlaw fields left. Paintball Charleston has been around since I started playing, and it's just always been there. If you can make it down on August 10th to show the old owners some love, please do. I'm trying to get a group from the upstate to go, so there might be a few of us riding down, so there might be some folks to carpool with if you don't want to drive by yourself.
Yeah.
But I think I was told it was bring your own paint and that there was not going to be a fee because it was like the last, they were just going to have like one final hurrah and let whoever wanted to come and enjoy the field one last time while they owned it.
Okay. Nice.
On
Well,
another note, if you check out the Outdoor Extreme post about them taking over Paintball Charleston, it refers to Paintball Charleston as one of the premier facility or one of the premier facilities in the Southeast. I love Paintball Charleston. The owners are awesome. They have kept that place going through recessions and all kinds of shit, but it has never been the premier facility in South Carolina. So
yeah.
what the fuck? Like, don't gas it up, man. If you want to build it up nice, but don't gas it up to the ones because I don't like it. I don't like it. I love the Outdoor Extreme dudes. They put on awesome events. They have great venues, but that kind of struck a nerve with me. And, I'm just going to say it because that's weird. It's a great place to go play, but it was not like a premier facility. I don't.
Well, yeah. And then, it has always done well on the rental side of things, right? The recreational side of things.
And like
Huge
Jake
pump
said,
scene and shit. But
yes, that field might be single-handedly responsible. That field and maybe Greenville might be responsible for the few pump players that I know that are like dedicated pump players. Like, I don't know if you remember or not, but at one point in time, the CFOA tried to do a pump class 3-man.
yeah, I had forgot about
And
that actually.
so you remember when it used to be like gridlock black, gridlock red, gridlock white, and then you'd get to the ridiculous shit like gridlock tangerine and chartreuse and shit.
Yeah.
That's the way it was with the Charleston with the GLK dudes Jake was talking about. That was 100% the 3-man pump class.
Yeah.
Shout out Lucas Prestera from GLK, Paintball Jesus. Miss you, homie.
And we're gonna have Edward and a couple of the other GLK guys on in the next month.
You either love those dudes or you hate them, and they could honestly give a fuck less.
Yeah, no, I grew up hating them and learned to love them eventually.
Yeah, I met some of the young, like the original members, like Chris Leopard and Lucas on an X ball team that we used to run out of Ball Busters when the CFOA had their own X ball league. And Lucas and all the John, let's see, Chris Leopard. I don't want to. I'm forgetting somebody. Alex Mason. A lot of those guys are like the original GLK. Those dudes were such assholes when they were teenagers because I was already in my 20s and I'm like, you guys suck. You guys suck out loud. And now like watching them turn into adults and have families and kids and be successful, it makes an old man feel good.
Nice. Well, yeah. So August 10th, make sure you're out there.
Yeah, go show Paintball Charleston some love before Outdoor Extreme takes it. It'll still be an awesome facility when Outdoor Extreme takes over, but it's not gonna be what it is now. It'll never be this again. So this is if you've thought about going to play at Paintball Charleston, this is your opportunity to go check it out the way it was when paintball, was in its prime. Like that field was around during the heyday.
Yeah.
So I mean you can, and they're still set up that way too. I think the smoke dudes might own the airball field,
They got some deal worked out.
Yeah, them and Ed have some stake in it somehow
So
or another.
hopefully, whatever that deal is, it'll continue for the Smoke guys.
Yeah, because that's a good program. They just, shout out to them. They just had some success in, what was it, D4?
Yeah,
Didn't they
D4
win?
just won, and then D3 didn't make the last event, but they did pretty well the event before.
Yeah,
And
they've made
D4
the
did
Sunday
really
cut.
well. Yeah,
They've made the Sunday cut a few times.
yeah. I think every event this year they've made the Sunday cut in something, and then I feel like 10-man
Oh,
won.
those dudes always go out and just fuck people up on that 10-man field.
Yeah. I feel like they won Tampa.
Yeah, I think so. And I think they placed like second or third already this season as well. I think they had
Yeah,
another good showing. Maybe it was at Cincinnati. They had a good showing.
yeah. It was either Cincinnati or Atlantic City that they had a really good showing at.
So do we think Texas is going to be a monsoon as usual? I love wet paintball when I'm not playing it.
I mean, I don't think the weather's looking great for it, to be honest. So I think it might be time we give up Texas. Just saying. I can't
I mean,
remember a good Texas event.
it's either we go and it's cold as shit. Because one year when I did stats, it was like 30, 38 degrees the whole time and raining.
Yeah, and it had
The
like
the
dropped
next
the
year,
night before, right?
the next year I went and the winds were it's like so bad that we had to come out of the scaffolding. Like we had to climb down like out of it because we were like, this is not fucking safe. Like this camera, me, everything is about to go across the field. And they had a deer stand fall during one of the games one year in Texas. As I was not on that deer stand, I'd already quit doing stats at that point, but that shit was funny because I was like, I bet that's the same deer stand from Chicago that almost fell on me. I wish I knew which two Russian players it was, man. I was doing Snakeside stats in Chicago 2013, I think. Pete won the event, and the only reason I remember that is because it was the event that Fedorov put up like some retarded kill count for the event. But they had deer stands for us to sit in for the stats, and we had shipped these things all over the country in the die truck. So we had to reassemble them at every event. Well, if you've ever bought a Walmart deer stand, you know those are a put it together one time and pray you don't have to move it. Because if you take it apart, it never goes back together the same again. Mine, like one of the legs snapped, like audibly snapped while I was sitting in it during the semifinals on the center field. I got super lucky because I didn't notice it. Two of the Russian players jumped over the railing and held the deer stand together for me so I could climb down without it like just folding. If I ever figure out who they were, I will hug those two gentlemen and buy them a shot of vodka because I would have been dead on national TV. But
So
they've gotten, I don't know how they're doing stats now, but I'm assuming it's much safer.
yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm glad they're coming back with them. I know it's been a thing,
Stats is
but
a
it's
good
something we
thing, man.
need.
It's a metric that everybody can look at and understand. And for players, it's awesome because then you can kind of track your favorites and see who's having a good season, see who's having a bad season, everything.
Well, I think it's important for owners too, right? Like otherwise you're making these judgments on people's
Yeah,
opinions and their bravado.
you're making judgment on opinions and bravado, but there's a lot of things that the stats can't quantify. We touched on the mouse situation earlier. The
Yeah.
dude's a mercenary, but he's an admitted mercenary.
Oh yeah.
You're not getting any loyalty from him if the paycheck's going to stop or be short. Like that's just how it is.
I got no problem with that. Like if that's what you want to do, that's fine.
Right. You
I
just
think
got to
it's
be willing to
stupid
own
and
up to it.
divisional, but yeah, just I think he's been honest about it. You there? We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. we were talking about Mouse when we got cut off being a mercenary.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like that guy you kind of expect him to make those moves, but now you've got all these other kids looking up to that and they're like that's the way to go. That's what we're going to do. But when you have guys doing that, you can't really enforce those contracts at all.
Well, and if you aren't paying a dude, you aren't paying a dude. What's
No, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you're getting paid to to play a game that most kids would, kill to be in your position. But I think you've got to have that team loyalty built somewhere, which is weird because Mouse came up in that aftermath camp, and most of those guys are still pretty good friends, I guess. But
Well,
he
that
just
was supposed to be the whole thing with Impact, right? It was the pro guys that were still around from Aftermath were getting to rejoin each other. And I personally, I think I would have stayed in the Impact deal, but he chose to go back to Diesel, and now he's leaving. I don't know if if there's any real if he's leaving because of the spitting or some other issues or what.
I don't
But
know, man. Wherever Spica tends to go, Mouse has a tendency to follow. Without Spica there, I think that was like his best friend on the team. That's kind of who got him the deal to begin with. So maybe when Spica bounced, he was like, "Well, I'm out."
time to go.
But Damage, I still don't think when they picked up Marcelo, HK posted this thing talking about, "You think Damage is ready to win a pro event now?" And I commented and I was like, "Haha, nope." Like, I don't think adding more all-star egos and names to that squad is going to get them a podium finish this year.
Well, and they finished the worst they had this year. So
Yeah, Marcelo is one of the like mid-level players on the fantasy league now.
is he because of
On
the
the on
performance?
the on the pick'ems thing that the British guys are doing.
Yeah,
I think he's like 93,000, but Jason Edwards and
yeah,
Brian Smith was like 150. I'm like, oh, Marcelo going down in value.
yeah,
But it's a new program, and I think that's what I was getting at with them bringing Mouse on. Like, yeah, it's another all-star name to add to an all-star roster, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of chemistry because they're not winning games.
yeah. Well, and I think that's what the whole Diesel experiment the last 3 seasons has taught everyone, right? Like you can buy all these guys, but if they aren't going to gel and be a real team, it's not going to matter.
Heat was the only program that I think really made it work. And they kind of skirted everything because really and truthfully they just hired the Philly Americans.
Yeah,
Like even the Russian cats, like when Mishka and Fedorov and Sergey were all on that team, they had all played together before. Like they were all Smart Part sponsored players back in the 2007, 2008 time or 2006, 2007 time frame. So those
yeah,
guys had tons of experience with each other. Art Johnson just seems like he's just trying to plug and play big names and hope it works. But I
yeah.
think they played some of their best paintball the year prior to him going out and buying all this talent.
Yeah, they did way better that year, and then they added this talent, and they've been shooting the bed ever since.
Yeah, they underperformed as a understatement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big understatement. And to go back to Heat, like you had the Russian guys, you had the Philly guys, you had a couple shot guys, but they were groups of guys that had played together and they had interlocked. They at least had one player that had played with the other group. It wasn't even trying to gel
And
those guys
with
together.
you're right though, it takes that linchpin player that's played with everybody on the team, and Diesel doesn't have that. Like I think for Heat, was it? No, it wasn't Tim to begin with. I was
No,
gonna say it would be Tim Montresor, but I guess it would have had to have been Sloviak. Was
it would have
him
been
or Monville?
him, Monville, and then, oh my gosh, he's on the Tauntauns now, the Russian guy.
Better off.
Fedorov, yeah. Because
Talk
Fedorov had been on the Philly squad
about
prior.
the prettiest Jedi mind trick in the finals. Shout out Fetty, because my man blatantly wiped a leg hit. Like that he didn't need to. He got rid of it with the slide, wiped it in front of the ref, and then convinced the ref that there was nothing there and he was just like adjusting his pants or something. Jedi mind trick level 10. You
That's
know,
why you pay Fetty.
yeah, man, we need more highlight videos of good cheats.
Uh,
Like Alex Goldman has like probably one of the most, since he's been the topic of conversation.
yeah.
He has that HK video where he wipes that hopper hit off the top of that halo.
Yeah, where Shock wins their first event in years.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, she's cheating. He's cheating. If there hadn't been a fucking camera there, that would have been so pretty. Nobody ever, cause he kept playing even with the
Oh, yeah.
camera there.
Yeah.
Like it was a gorgeous, like it was a good wipe. I think we need more highlight videos of dirty players. Like it's part of the game. Just for us, bring it out. Don't put that out to everybody. But for the players, we want to see the dirty players. I want to see you wipe a face hit.
Well, and
Raiders
notorious.
on that dirter video. What was it? Shoot, 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 kill, 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 wipe your face. What they said on the short bus.
Yeah.
Man.
While we were charging, got a update from Edward down about the Charleston thing. It will be bring your own paint. So
hey,
yep.
See, all you guys that go pit at national events and have like 82 open cases at your house, here's your chance.
Bring it
You
out.
don't have to sneak it into every other loader. Not
Nope.
calling any names, but we know who does it.
Yeah, we sure do.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, bring it out and buy something from Charleston. They're giving you a great free day. Send them off of some more moolah in their pockets.
Just tell them thank you, because the field owners really don't get enough credit. They don't make what everybody thinks they make sometimes. And it's a rough job, man. You don't get weekends. Like weekends are work time.
Yeah.
So if you're like most field owners, you got a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then you go straight to the weekend dealing with paintball players.
Well, and you look at a lot of these field owners are now working Wednesday through Sunday.
You've got to, man. I mean, if you're paying that lease for 7 days a week, you might as well use it all 7 days. And how many guys would love to come run drills like with them and 2 other friends who don't have their kids that night, or they don't have an engagement with their wife or their friends or with work, but they can't swing a Saturday, but they can swing 2 hours on a Tuesday night.
Yeah. Well, and you're seeing that with the night ball stuff, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the next evolution for the fields is going to have to, because right now, man, like even at the retro event, you asked me how I was walking around with a beanie on.
Yeah.
Here's a shameless product placement. Heavy-handed combat rash guards. That's how. Like that.
We're going to have them down right there for you.
The shit works. And look, I'm a bigger dude. Jake made a comment on the show, on his episode, about they don't fit loose. Like they don't fit like paintball players think an underlayer is going to fit, blah, 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 blah. I've been wearing this thing for like what year did you play with the cup team at 10-man or on the mounds?
The first year was 2013 or 2020. It was 2 years ago was our first time doing the mounds. I
have been wearing a heavy-handed rash guard for 2 years now. And given that I don't play as much as everybody else does, but I've been on a weight loss journey during that 2 years. So when I started wearing this thing, I looked like a fucking busted can of biscuits, Hunter. I'm talking about Pillsbury would have been jealous of the rolls I had going on. But it's a base layer. Nobody's going to see this thing on you after you put it on. And I promise you, being a big boy playing that tournament on Saturday, it was mid-90s by the time we finished up.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a beanie. I was wearing a beanie for head protection and a dry fit Supreme shirt.
Yeah.
And I was perfectly fine. Everybody else dying wearing jerseys and no head wrap, no beanie, no nothing, just dying of heat, about to pass out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nah, it's cool. They work, man. Like it's not what everybody's used to, but different does not mean wrong. And the paintball community needs to take a chance and try those things, because they have this awesome little, like, one of my big bitches has always been my pack, like rubbing my stomach or like getting under my tall tee or something, getting bunched up. So the heavy-handed rash guards have this awesome little like silicone non-slip around the bottom hem of the shirt, so that when you tuck it inside your pants, it never comes out. It doesn't move. You can crawl, slide, dive, whatever. The things don't come untucked. So you don't have to worry about going to dive on AstroTurf. And let's say you're wearing just a dry fit or a tank top. You don't have to worry about getting turf burn anymore. Like your chest stays completely covered the whole time, and it definitely helps keep you cool. So order heavy-handed. I'm trying to help the homie out because you spend money with him, he spends money with me getting tattoos. So it's a
That's right.
win-win.
Just feeding the beast.
Yeah. Well, I think he's almost out of dye totes to trade.
He had a lot of dice stuff out there on the BSTs for a hot minute.
Speaking of those totes, so I ended up with a DM3 that you saw on Saturday and a
Yeah,
DMC.
beautiful gun.
We'll do a shameless plug for the Matrix deal. Those guys are like Jason reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I heard you got some dinosaurs you want to get running." I sent him pictures. I also told him I had with what appears to be parts to a DM. I think there's actually enough parts to build the fucking thing. But
Okay.
it's from some weird South American team, somebody that Jake ended up with. I don't know how, but anyway, I told him I was like, if you can get it running, he's like, oh yeah, not a problem. And I'm like, you sound super confident. And he's like, I can make it run. Any man that sounds that confident, and he was also willing to meet me to pick these things up. Like
Uh-huh.
he genuinely enjoys working on these old guns.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you're in the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia area, you don't want to ship your gun off to some dude in the Northeast that you don't know, or out west, or in Texas, because Texas, the gun might
Yeah.
melt on the way. You can hit up Jason and those guys, and they'll get your old boat anchors running.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have if you got an old cocker, use bearded work.
Yep. Or Mag for sure. He sent me.
Look,
See if I can find it even if it's just you that can see it.
the Predator EMAG thing that he has.
It was the Mag he was talking about. The problem
The
is
pump?
no, the one he made with the Z frame on it
Oh God.
that comes out like this.
So when I met Jake at one of the Black Ops Myrtle Beach field had a scenario, and Jake had a bunch of his mags and his stuff with him.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, so
It
that's
looks cool.
go back and listen to Jake's Bearded Works episode. He talks about that one.
That looks pretty dope, actually. But yeah, dude, he had a center fed EMAG
Oh
that
shit.
had the pin in it. So until you pulled the pin, it was just a regular mag. But when you
Yeah.
pulled the pin, the electronics started working. This thing was out running a Halo 2. And he was like, "You want to shoot it?" I'm like, "Absolutely," but I'm kind of scared to crawl around in the woods with it. And he's like, "That's what it's for."
Oh,
I got
yeah.
to shoot one of my unicorn guns from when I started playing paintball. Like those vert body EMAGs were
Mhm.
sexy, but
Oh yeah.
God heavy. I think the electronics weighed like 10 pounds.
And then you remember these jerseys, the Predator
Bear
jerseys?
Ridge, yes,
Well, so Bear Ridge is doing a homage to them for the
to the
next event.
Predators.
Yeah.
Nice. So I hope those dudes make their run. Like they're poised to win out the season. I think if they win this next one,
Yeah. Yeah, they
because
should
the double
lock it.
points, well, the double points at Cup fucks everything up. There's always a
Yeah.
possibility that because this is technically the middle of the year event now. Like Cincinnati,
Yes.
that replaced Chicago, I guess, is what they're in their minds. But this late in the year, September in Texas is gonna be hot.
Gonna be a hot one for sure. And
And
the
I
way
hope
the
they
points work is you still got half your points to go in between Texas and World Cup. So, and I guess you could have one bad showing, but
Well, it depends on the rest of right now they're sitting as well as they are because there's not a lot of consistency.
yeah.
Like the team that was it TPP, they haven't, I think they did like 7th or 8th at the last event, but they shit the bed at Atlantic City.
Yes.
And not to say they didn't place well. They just they didn't make it as far as they needed to be a contender for the series.
Yeah,
That
right
one bad showing
now.
really hurts.
Yeah, I think Collision is up in the top 3, and I want to say Wrecking Crew is also in the top 3. Neither one of those programs have won a event yet, though.
Yeah, and that's that's if Wrecking Crew doesn't get picked over for players by another pro team.
Yeah, well, I think they'll be fine for the rest of this year. But if Wrecking Crew doesn't win that spot, I think you guys offers are going out to those guys for sure.
Yeah, and I think a lot of pro teams will try to cherry pick them if they don't get the pro spot after this season, because they're gonna be able to get those kids cheap, and they play a lot of paintball and they're dedicated.
Yeah.
Like they're flying from the Northeast to Florida to practice every weekend,
Yeah.
which I would 100% expect a better showing from them at this event, just because of the fact they do practice damage so much, and Marcelo was their coach for so long, and now this puts them back to practicing against and with one of their mentors. And I think that's going to be a big bolster to their camp. Whichever team wins the pro spot, I just hope they know what they're in for, like financially, because it's a commitment, man, and there doesn't appear to be much return in paintball anymore.
Well, and shameless plug for 1023, use code Planet Paintball for 20% off. That money directly goes to fund the Bear Ridge guys.
Nice.
Like that is one of the reasons that company was built.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that is.
Have you said that on the podcast before?
We've talked about it with Josh. Can't remember if I was recording or not, to be honest with you.
Well, it's good now that it's good now, because there's a lot of people that have seen that program. Like they've had a lot of eyes on them this year. I hope they get their pro spot, because it would do my heart good to see like another Southeastern team go pro again, because it's been a while since we've had a new one come from here.
It's been a hot minute.
Also, so they don't just get ripped apart. Like Wrecking Crew is a prime example about what happens to semi-pro teams that don't make it to the next level in the time frame expected. They start getting snatched.
Yeah, well, and they had a couple boys get snatched up by
the Ironmen.
Ironmen.
Yeah, I think
shout out to the Lennons. Yeah, two of them went to the Ironmen. Chris Lennon and I can't remember the other one. Brody. Yeah,
it was that Brody kid, because he's the track. He was a super cool dude, man. He came to the duel and competed. I think right after he got picked up.
Yeah,
super cool dude. Like was just there to have fun. I think he ended up getting beat, and he was just smiling and laughing, like trying to have fun, just playing paintball. So it was nice to see that. So definitely want to mention anytime I see a player with a good attitude.
Yeah. I've stayed away from the pro players on this thing, but with the exception of Lennon, but that's because he coaches his brothers on war. But I do think I want to do in the off season Carolina pros.
Oh, I know a few of them that if you don't have an in, like if you don't have a way to do an introduction, I'll do the same thing I did with Larry, I believe it was, but I did the joint message. I'll be like, hey, this is my buddy, go.
Yep.
I can get you Lackey and I know I can get you Lackey and Sauceman more than likely.
Yeah. I got you and Norris to hook me up with Lackey and Sauceman. So yeah, I definitely want to do them. I just want to tell their story, especially like Lackey, because he built his own road. Like Gridlock kind of fell apart before he could get up the ranks way up the ladder. Much, so yeah, but he was still around to see that. So you good?
Yeah, it switched my audio device to my truck for some reason.
Okay, it sounds fine. a little different, but fine.
Well, let's kind of wrap up, because I'm using my truck battery to do this right now, and I'm getting a battery low thing. So
okay, yeah. Let's shout out who you want to shout out.
So dude, just shout out you for the podcast. Shout out the guys that are putting on events like the AXL. I know I kind of gave y'all some shit. CFOA kind of gave you guys some shit too, but at least you're trying. These are just constructive criticism. Take them or leave them. Want to shout out Jason Hansen, because he's still rocking and rolling with his mechanical duel events and the 10-man practices he's trying to throw together. And yeah, man, that's probably about it for today. I'm about to run my truck battery dead doing this, so I'm gonna jump off here, and till next time.
Until next time. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. We'll see you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Shout out to 1023 Sportswear for sponsoring the show. Don't forget to use code Planet Paintball at checkout for 20% off your order. Gear up, save big. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball podcast